Hello, Rusthall Community Cinema. I'm actor Philip Filmar, and I've been lucky enough to work with one of the loveliest people in the business, a great actor, very nice person, and rather dapper. You hardly ever see him out of his natty black suit, white shirt, black tie, and that is Bill Nighy. I was lucky enough to work with Bill on a film called Jack the Giant Slayer. Bill was playing King of the Giants, and I was the Cook Giant. And we had quite a lot of rehearsal for that, learning to move like giants. And while we were doing our movement, we were put into these lycra outfits because we were shooting using a technique called motion capture. And motion capture is a way of capturing the actor's performances, voice, facial expressions, but what ends up on the screen is actually CGI, kind of animated version of yourself. Needn't look anything like the actor. It can look much bigger, a different face. Anything is possible. It's extraordinary. But essentially at the heart of it is the human performance. So we put in these lycra outfits. Now when you come to shoot, they then add little reflective markers at the joints on your bones so that the computers that are filming the performance, registering the performance, they then can calculate your position in space. And put you into a set, like a giant's castle or wherever. So Bill was given dispensation to do all his rehearsing in his natty suit. So while we were looking all rather like failed superheroes, Bill was looking absolutely immaculate in his black suit, white shirt and tie. When we came to shoot, he had to put the lycra on. Just like all of us. But while we were rehearsing, we had a movement coach called Peter Elliott. And Peter Elliott specialises in movement, getting actors to inhabit whatever they're meant to be, a creature or a giant in our case. Peter had worked on a film a while ago called Gorillas in the Mist, where he had coached actors on how to be almost totally indistinguishable from actual gorillas. And everything that Peter does, inevitably, at some point, he has you being a giant ape. So while we were trying to move with greater weight and physical authority to make us look about 30 feet tall, at some point Peter suggested that maybe we should be more like giant apes. Great gorillas, and he had us kind of walking in a more ape-like way and jumping onto surfaces and squatting there, looking around as if over a jungle or something. So while we were doing this and feeling a bit silly, and then the director came along and he said, no, he said, you're not beasts, you're not great apes, you're just big human beings. So we went back to doing that. When it came to the shooting, we were encouraged by Peter to not to be afraid and go up to any of our fellow actors with comments. Perhaps you'd seen something really good that you liked, or you just had some other comment to make. We shouldn't be afraid to do that. So I was watching Bill shoot an early scene where he was stalking around the studio and using a Northern Irish accent to make him seem more frightening, give him an edge. And anyway, I was very impressed. He seemed very powerful beyond what you would normally think of when you look at this rather slim, pale-skinned man being a giant. I thought it was wonderful. And when the director called cut, I called out to him and I said, Bill, and he looked around to see who was calling him. And I went over to him he looked puzzled. What was I going to say? And I said, "Bill, I have never seen you look so dangerous." And he looked very chuffed. And he gave me a high five, which was slightly awkward, because if you ever see Bill, you notice that he had this kind of tendon condition on his hands, and he can't straighten all of the fingers. So when he gave me the high five, slightly awkward, but very heartfelt. Anyway, I just really loved working with Bill. And so then we finished filming, and it was about 2 weeks after we finished filming, and I happened to be walking through Highgate Village, with a very good friend of mine who had just had an operation for a brain tumour. So he was moving a little bit delicately and speaking a little slowly. Anyway, we're walking down the hill, and I hear someone call out, "Hey, Phil!" I look round, see who's called me, and on the other side of the road, it's Bill Nighy, with a rather beautiful young lady, who it turned out was his daughter. Anyway, I crossed the road to greet Bill. I introduced him to my friend Mick, and Mick said, "I know who you are," which was strangely menacing. I explained that he'd just had an operation. Anyway, we had a really nice chat, and then we went on our way. But that's just to tell you what a lovely person Bill is. Bill speaks to everyone on the film set. It's very hierarchical, but Bill, he just treats everybody the same, and he is polite and friendly and open and lovely, and I have the greatest respect for him, and I always enjoy his performances. So I know now you're going to watch Bill starring in Living. I hope you enjoy it. I loved it when I saw it in the cinema. So have a good time. Goodbye for now.